Magandang go palakas na umaga sa inyong lahat. Kumusta po tayo sa ating mga tahanan or baka naman kayo ay nasa labas or kung saan man kayo nakikinig ngayon. Ako po si Chandra, ang inyong lingkod ngayong umaga. And on behalf of Tita Socorro, Tita Marisa, and Tito Toby, we hope na mabuti ang kalagayan ninyong lahat, lalong-lalo na sa ating mga kababayan na nasa mga lugar, no, na daanan ng bagyong Odette. We are praying for your safety and that you may have the strength you need to rise through this with God's help. It is during these times, that nare-remind tayo na manalangin tayo sa Kanya dahil we are actually not in control. Kailangan natin pangahalagaan ang Kanyang binigay. Okay? At magpasalamat tayo sa Kanyang binigay at ang mga hindi niya rin binigay. Okay? So, we hope that everybody is having a good morning wherever you are. And I just want to say hi, sa mga nakikinig na ngayon and mga bumabati na dahil yes, actually, Pasko na. Okay, and this is also, again, a good time for us to be reminded of being grateful for all our blessings, okay? So good morning to Kalindi Relova and to Darshan Bernardo and also to Jerochi Sanchez. Merry Christmas. Saying hi, okay? And good morning. Merry Christmas to Tita Soki, Tita Marisa, and Tito Toby. And good morning, Keish, Pasqua, and Prishni Potyan. And also to Clarissa Domanilio and to Rose, all the way from Iloilo. Okay, so it is a pleasant morning to all of you. Hi and Haribol to Avelina Aguas and also to Milay Royo. Hello po, kamusta po kayo? Nice to see you on the comments. Although we have not seen each other for a while, but it's so nice to hear from you. And so hindi ko na papatagalin, let's go right into it. It's going to be another good morning because madadagdagan na naman at papalawakin na naman ang ating mga isipan. Okay, Nina, Tita Marisa, Tita Socorro, and Tito Toby, because yung topic actually natin this morning is again something that is very important, no? Minsan nakakaligtaan to, and so they are going to be talking about it again and reminding us about finding or discovering that inner space. Ano nga ba ito? Pakinggan natin sila.
Good day to everybody. Welcome to Go
araw.
Palakas Show. This is a recorded show, so we won't be able to read comments and greetings.
And interact with everybody. Maligayang bati po sa inyong lahat at sa ating mga taga-pakinig. Alam natin na daman-daman na natin yung lamig.
Oo
at
nga.
saka yung pakiramdam ng Pasko.
Palapit na ng palapit.
Oh,
Ngunit,
yes.
siyempre, ang payo sa lahat, magpalakas at go palakas. Di ba?
Oo,
Tapos,
our
at
slogan.
isa pa, kailangan maging careful din tayo sa ating, pang-araw-araw. Alam natin, ang
Sa ating
gigigil
mga
tayo.
parties.
Oo, kasi
Reunions,
siyempre, reunions,
ganyan.
parties.
Shopping.
Halos na, almost 2 years,
Oo.
2 years
2
tayo
years tayo
halos,
nakapasko ng-
hindi nakapagsama-sama ng naging
Ng
kaugalian
tulad ng-
natin o naging
oo.
nakasanayan natin.
Ating traditional way.
Ngunit siyempre, alam niyo, yung mga pagsusubok na ganyan, yung mga pagbabago sa ating sitwasyon, di ba? Aral lang natin yan eh.
Oo.
Diyan natin nasusukat.
Learning curve tayo.
Kung magano diyan natin masukat yung, di ba, pag pinag-uusapan natin yung malakas.
Ang tibay ng loob.
Yung tibay ng loob, di ba? Kadalasan
We're talking about inner spaces.
Oo,
diba?
This is it.
kadalasan kasi naisip natin na physical, mental na strengths na ang sukat. At saka we rely on education, we rely on our achievements, we rely on so many other
Our
types
number of medals
Right.
and Freeze.
kung ano yung na-achieve mo na nung napag-aralan mo at ano pa ang pinag-aaralan mo.
Oo.
Yung mga karanasan ng isang tao, yan ang nagbibigay namin sa tinatanong natin. Ah, yan nung nasusukat yung lakas, galing ng tao. Ngunit sa ating na ang daming pagbabago na nabigla tayo. Nabigla ang
Natin.
society,
Tayo.
nabigla ang mga individual na
Hello? Oh, okay. So, nagkakaproblema lang tayo, no, sa ating recording, okay? Or yung recording nila, Tito Toby, Tita Socorro, and Tita Marisa. So, yeah, I just want to read yung few more comments that was sent in because Dixie also from La Union, all right, is sending prayers for our brothers and sisters in the Visayas who were impacted by Typhoon Odette. Yes, I was also talking about that earlier. And these are times also that, you know, we are also reminded na kailangan natin tumulong, okay, at makapagsilbi sa ating kapwa, especially during this time. So for those who are in those areas, or if we can extend our help from wherever we are, we should do so. And tayo'y magpasalamat araw-araw, hindi lang tuwing tayo ay nangangailangan. Very important reminder rin to sa nangyari. Okay. because everything actually that is happening here in this world, okay, is something that a lot of things or a lot of forces outside of us, forces of nature, are out of our control. And that's why napaka-importante nga na mahanap natin yung inner space na pinag-uusapan ng ating mga wise titos and titas, no? So, finding that space where kapag ka may mga nangyayaring ganito sa labas, okay? Nangyayaring ganito na magulo, okay? Sa ating kapaligiran, it is very important that we have that space that we can go to, okay? So that we can find the faith, we can find the strength, we can find, okay, Him, all right, who will be our help, okay, during times like this. So while we are still fixing yung sa video, no? Because pag-uusapan ito in detail nila Tito Toby, just want to say hi to a few more of those of you who are joining us. Matt Resurrection, good morning. And ang kanyang kapatid na si Katrina Resurrection, all the way from San Mateo, Rizal. Good day rin sa inyong lahat. So, please send in your wishes and all, okay? And if you have word about what is happening in the Visayas and Mindanao, yes, let's all reach out and try to do what we can for our mga kababayan. So with that, let's continue with discovering, all right, our inner space with Tito Toby, Tita Marisa, and Tita Socorro. Okay. Parang medyo nahirapan sila i-load yung video, no? So, antayin lang natin po ng konti.
Good day to everybody. Welcome
magandang
to Go
araw.
Palakas Show. This is a recorded show, so we won't be able to read comments and greetings.
And interact with everybody. Maligayang bati po sa inyong lahat at sa ating mga taga-pakinig, you know. Alam natin na daman-daman na natin yung lamig.
Oo
At saka
nga.
yung pakiramdam ng Pasko.
Palapit na ng palapit.
Oh,
Ngunit,
yes.
siyempre, ang payo sa lahat, magpalakas at go palakas. Di ba?
Oo,
Tapos,
our
at
slogan.
isa pa, kailangan maging careful din tayo sa ating, you know, pang-araw-araw. Alam natin,
Sa ating
nanggigigil
mga
tayo.
parties.
Oo, kasi
Reunions,
siyempre,
mga
reunions,
ganyan.
parties,
Shopping.
halos na, almost 2 years,
Oo.
2 years
2 years
tayo
tayo
halos,
nakapasko ng-
you know, hindi nakapagsama-sama ng naging kaugalian
tulad ng-
natin o naging
Oo.
nakasanayan
Ang
natin.
ating traditional way.
Ngunit siyempre, alam nyo, yung mga pagsusubok na ganyan, yung mga pagbabago sa ating sitwasyon, di ba? Aral lang natin yan eh.
Oo.
Diyan natin nasusukat
Learning curve tayo.
Kumbaga dyan natin masukat yung, di ba, pag pinag-uusapan natin yung malakas.
O, ang tibay ng loob.
Yung tibay ng loob, di ba? Kadalasan
We're talking about inner spaces.
Oo,
Diba?
This is it.
kadalasan kasi naisip natin na physical, mental na strengths na ang sukat. At saka we rely on education, we rely on our achievements, we rely on so many other
Our
types
number
of
of medals
Right.
and trophies.
kung ano yung na-achieve mo, na anong napag-aralan mo, at ano pa ang pinag-aaralan mo. Ama, yung mga nakaranasan ng isang tao, yan ang nagbibigay na minsan tinatanaw natin, diyan mo nasusukat yung lakas at galing ng tao. Di ba? Ngunit sa ating, itong ang pandemya, nakita natin na ang daming pagbabago na nabigla tayo. Nabigla ang
Na-test
society,
tayo ng
nabigla ang mga
gusto.
individual, nabigla ang mga
Society.
liderato, lahat nabigla.
Buong mundo.
Pero nakikita natin na, siyempre, kapag ganitong mga pagsusubok, dyan yung malalaman, pagdating sa, ano yung mga pinaka-importante sa ating buhay.
Yes.
Kamukha ngayon, Pasko. Di ba bago magpasko, meron tayong Advent.
Oo.
That is internally preparing for the
A
coming
preparation.
of Christ. Oo.
Yes. And I think that yung topic natin is very suited to
Tamang-tama.
preparation for Christmas. And not just Christmas, but for any kind of
For our entire
occasion or
life.
time or journey in life, no?
O this morning, di ba? Ano nangyari kanina umaga? Alas 4:30. Di ba? Kumalembang lahat ng ating mga simbahan.
Kasi we're taping this, we're ahead, no? On the, I mean, it'll be late by the time they see.
Yes.
But nag-umpisa
Yung
na
ano
yun.
Every,
natin.
yan, talaga,
16th, on the
ring ang
16th.
bells ng church.
Nag-uumpisa na yung mga
Simbang gabi.
simbang gabi. So
Which is,
all that started na.
simbang gabi pero
Preparation,
madaling
yeah.
araw.
Yeah, pero dati gabi talaga I remember, midnight tayo talaga nagmamass. Oo.
But yun yung peak, pagdating ng Christmas Day itself, di
Yes.
ba? Nagmi-midnight mass.
Preparation nga ito.
Pero pag sinabi natin preparasyon sa mga maraming bagay sa buhay natin, katulad yan, may magandang, kumbaga it's an event that's worth remembering and celebrating.
Yes.
Di ba?
Kasi kahit naman sa bahay, di ba, pag magkakaroon ka ng bisita, talagang lilinisan mo lahat, papagandahin mo, decoration,
Yes.
ganyan, di ba?
So, kahit sa radio show natin, nagpe-prepare din tayo for the big occasion. No, by talking about topics na talaga makakapaghanda sa sarili natin para matanaw natin ang Christmas sa tamang perspectives at tamang pananaw.
Kasi ngayon, katulad,
Open tayo and ready for the greatest gift that Jesus is coming to give us.
Oo.
At
Ayan.
may regalo din naman tayo sa Kanya. Dapat malinis din tayo.
malinis ang ating loob.
Oo,
Yes.
Malinis ang konsensya.
Diba? Malinis
at
ang
puso
konsensya at
natin.
saka yung mga
Walang
actions
basura, walang masyadong tambak ng basurang nabubulok, di ba?
Huwag na tayo mag-ipon-ipon ng mga galit-galit na
Actually,
inis-inis.
etong topic ng inner space was something that I heard from a webinar na ginawa for UP Manila.
Yes,
And they were
invited
using,
us, no? Very nice.
nung sinabi nila yung inner space, of course, that's a very nice term. Because yun na yata ang very in term ngayon when we talk about mental health. Yung creating,
You safe spaces ng tao.
yun.
Not
Tapos
just
you have
externally but internally.
Right,
Yes.
but there's an internal component to the safe spaces. Kasi the very motivation of a person who would be focusing on not just creating safe spaces for others, for myself, for my children, for my friends, for everyone in the family. Di ba, we always create safe spaces. This is very vital,
Yeah.
no? So, in our society, may ganyan. Di ba, meron tayong law enforcement.
Oo.
Diba? Meron tayong mga
Make it
batas.
safe.
Tapos
We have rules of
may
engagement.
rules of engagement. Tapos yung mga,
Human rights.
yung mga liderato natin, they're given, before they're accepted as ang pinuno sa isang barangay o sa isang bayan, may qualification din siya para sa nailalagay doon. Kasi the longing for safe spaces or a safety net in our lives that involves everybody, is something that is always desirable for us so we can function as a society. Ngayon,
So included pa yan nga. Yung
yeah, when we,
liderato na
yes,
nabanggit mo.
when we
oo.
deal with inner spaces, it becomes a totally different dimension because we're, you know, when you talk about spaces inside, internal,
Yeah.
you're dealing with the very being, the person, not just the physical or the mental,
Oo.
not just the social component of things, which is your interconnectivity with people in your society. Di ba?
So kasama ito talaga sa tinatawag mo lagi na self-care.
Yes.
Yes.
Is, we're saying discover your inner space kasi nandiyan na yan. It's
Yes.
just a matter of finding it or appreciating and learning how to enter that inner space.
Yes. You know, itong inner space, di ba? This is like our shelter nga, no?
Yes.
Just like now, marami tayong naririnig na bagyo, mga tornado. Like
Oh,
in the
yun,
US,
oh,
ang mga
grabe yung
bahay
tornado,
doon.
oh.
Oo, meron sila talagang inner space yung bahay na, anong tawag
Protection,
nila doon? The
parang-
cellar, no?
Yeah, no,
Shel-
the basement.
shel-
The basement.
Oo,
basement.
oo.
oo, oo.
Yun ang
Basement.
kanilang space na, okay, dito tayo safe. Pagka merong alarm na merong typhoon, tago tayo dyan. So, kailangan, everybody knows where it is to save us from harm. So, the same way with our own inner space,
Yes.
we should be aware that that is there. And we should also take time to go there, not just during a typhoon or a big horrible event, but all the time. Para you
Yes.
remember it agad pagka it's time to go there.
Kasi alam mo, nung I was trying to research on this inner space, ang mas nakikita ko outer space. Parang,
Cosmic, ha?
Hindi kasi, parang ang
Baka cosmic.
astronaut, yung mga ganon, travel in outer space. Kasi yun ang binubuhusan ng pera ng mga gobyerno, mga, countries, yung paglabas sa outer space. Kasi parang sabi nila, magulo na sa Earth. Umanap tayo ng other areas na
Saan na naman tayo magkakalat?
sana naman tayo manggugulo. So, really, when the solution naman talaga is not in outer space, pero
Yes.
talagang sa inner space na yan, na nasabi
We
natin.
beg to disagree with that. Ano?
Yan ang dapat paggugulan ng panahon at resources. How to find your inner space.
Sige, how
Eh,
na nga ba?
it's a journey of self-discovery nga yan eh. You know. So, your inner sanctuary.
Inner sanctum nga, sabi nung
Diba?
iba.
That's
Saan
what
ba yun?
Jesus
Where is
calls
that
it.
located?
Biblical
And
yan.
what is like, how
Asan
do,
na nga ba? Let's go about the
Oh,
how.
ito.
Yeah?
kasi may connection eh. You need to be able to connect to it eh.
Yes.
And,
You need to know
um,
where it is and you need to know how to get there.
Yes. Sabi ni Marcus Aurelius, nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own self
Self.
and being.
Yan, nasa puso natin yan.
Yan ang
diba?
safe space talaga,
Kasi
hindi
even the
ba?
astronauts that go travel in outer space, di ba, they're all there, hindi ba? They're marveling with the beauty and the experience and the solitude that they're experiencing.
Yes.
But yet you will find, you know how they're trying to connect to what is clicking inside by what you see.
Yes.
Di ba? Our senses are there to be aware of many things, but yet at the same time, if you just go by surface, it's a different experience. That's what we all go through in life today. Pero may mga tao na nakakadama ng, uy, nasa labas sila ng kanilang planeta.
Yeah.
Parang it's a totally, kami alien kami rito. Yung parang, wow, this is different.
Yes,
But
my sister-in-law, she has friends who are astronauts who actually been out there in outer space, and they said that it's a very humbling experience to know you're just a little speck in this huge universe. You know, so actually for them, although they're in outer space, it kind of had them thinking on a spiritual level.
Yes.
Really.
Meron silang realizations
Yeah,
din.
naging ganon yung, yeah, they become so humbled by the experience and they realize, wow, who am I really?
Yeah.
What is my part in the scheme of this world
Yes, oo.
or this creation? That's when introspective questioning begins.
Solitude, no?
Right.
Oo. Yan ang kailangan natin.
Oo. Actually, sabi nga ng isang tao, loneliness is the poverty of the self, But solitude and going into your inner space is the richness of the self.
Right.
So, iba talaga yung loneliness sa solitude.
Yes. Oo. Iba
It's
yung
really
feeling
two
yan.
different things.
Oo.
Although you are alone,
Alone? Yes.
at both
Oo.
times. So, it depends on your attitude
Oo.
and understanding.
Sinabi pa nga ni Albert Einstein, be a loner that gives you time to wander, to search for the truth. Have holy curiosity. Make your life worth living. May meron pa siyang holy curiosity. Sabi ko, ay hindi curiosity na machismis and everything, but holy in the sense that it is a spiritual curiosity and it makes your life worth living.
Yes,
You know, I think that's one thing that we have an advantage of here in the where we live, because it's nature, right? You're walking around and you can actually have that quietude and time to reflect and time to connect with all these different entities around you that are quietly doing their business. You know,
Plus even when you are in a natural setting and you are experiencing the goodness of what such natural setting is giving, actually you begin to appreciate the connection that you have, your physical and your very mental connection that you have, besides you as the person.
Yeah.
But you begin to connect with all the different living beings in the situation that
and the source of where did all
where
this
did
come
all
from?
guys come from, and they're going.
Iba talagang connection sa ganitong lugar. Hindi internet connection.
Ay, oo. Kahit walang signal ng internet, meron ka pa rin connection
Mas
doon.
matindi yung connection dito.
Oo. Pero yun nga, meron din tayong naging question ng webinar asking, what if you're living in the city? Paano mo mahanap yung inner space mo? And I must say that even Jesus Christ, sinabi niya, may message, if you want to pray, do not even make it public, but enter your closet. Hindi ba?
Your inner sanctum.
Your inner
Go
sanctum.
to your inner sanctum.
O,
Now, kaya nga, di ba, when the question arises, wherever you live,
yes. Oo.
it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Di ba, in the past, you will hear of stories of monks or sadhus, holy men, sages. They live in caves.
Yes.
Diba? They don't like to be disturbed by the trappings of what's there out there. But yet at the same time, when they come out, they're not like just, can you imagine you're just in a cave? And supposed to be, hindi ka exposed sa marami. Sa maraming bagay, di ba? Wala nang mga pero they are the most seeked, or people that sought out, that you seek these people, you seek their words that may help you. Yet they live in such solitude,
Yeah. High thinking, no?
but at the same time, they're not like parang whatever they speak about makes changes in people's lives.
Very deep, very
deep.
profound.
Yeah.
Oo.
And inspiring to people also, hindi ba?
Well, now that you mentioned the sages, no, I've read before how they compare the sages to like a turtle, because the turtle can draw in their hands and feet and even their head
When there's
and go
danger.
within.
Go within.
They go
Oh,
within,
Nice.
Sheltering themselves inside their shell, no?
Pag may danger, di ba, yun ang
Yes.
nagiging reaction nila is to enter.
Yes,
Enter the
within.
shell, you
Oo.
know?
Parang siyang he knows where to go when there's danger. Pasok siya sa loob. And then at the same time, pag okay na, he comes out, and that's when he interacts with the external world. But whenever needed, he knows, pasok ako muna. You know, it's a
marunong
nice
siya.
example, no, to
Yeah,
follow.
and you gotta know those are turtles. They have
Natural
an
siya, no?
instinct to do that. For us, supplied with higher intelligence and have full, our senses,
Capacity,
with our senses to be able to gather information as to. And ang tawag nila, you have higher intelligence, and the intelligence to be able to make analytical, correct choices.
Oo, yes.
Diba? The basis of that has to do with what is coming from within, an internal urge, which is always based on happiness. It's the measure of I'm by nature would seek pleasure. That's something that is so common amongst everybody. Diba?
But the wise man knows really where to
Where
find
the pleasure
it.
comes
That
from.
pleasure, oo.
Oh, very siya, wise talaga.
Kaya nga yun eh. Di ba?
Ano siya, ang discriminating sa kanyang choice of where to find real pleasure, no?
Right. Sa our inner space and our peace of mind are affected by our outer space. So yung externals
Right.
din, di ba, makaka-apekto yan by what you allow to come into your inner space. So we're very careful.
What you expose
Yeah.
yourself to.
We just mentioned wise man. Ano pa yun? Apat yan eh. There's 4 kinds of people in the world. Eh. All of them are seeking not just the external pleasures that we're all pursuing that is being fed to us, but may mga apat na klaseng tao who tries to seek internal spaces. One, a person, minsan, di ba, pag ikaw ay may sakuna, may sakit,
Distressed.
distress ka dyan. So, parang, wow, where's this bringing
You're
me
looking
to?
for relief.
You're looking for relief.
Oo.
Di ba? Tsaka, you're forcibly put in kahit na hindi terminal yung sakit mo, kahit na lagnat o flu, di ba? Alam mo, gagaling ka in 1 week, di ba? You're there by yourself in your room. Kasi walang gustong pumasok sa kwarto mo eh. Dahil
Quarantine!
di ba?
Talagang magdadasal yung tao
Hindi
yun, di
katulad
ba?
ngayon,
Magdadasal
yung COVID
siya.
ngayon, hindi ba? Wala kang kamag-anak kasama mo dun sa
Isolation.
Isolation.
rooms, di ba? Wala kang kasama. So it's such a very lonely situation because there's so much uncertainties. And you have doctors who will come and nurses who will try their very best to comfort you. But when there's an overwhelming situation that's taking place, they themselves, even the doctors and the frontliners, are the ones
Pagod na rin.
seeking the inner spaces too,
yes.
kasi they need to
Naghahanap rin
They
sila.
also need relief.
they need relief from the burden, from the stress. So, isa yan, yung mga may sakit, di ba?
Yeah.
Ito, vivid sa atin to.
Yes. And all of
distress.
us
And all
go
of us
through
goes
this
through it.
situation. May
Tapos,
distress
di ba,
talaga
meron
tayo.
din yung, ako, nawalan ako ng trabaho.
Oo,
Wala akong kikitain.
walang pera.
Wala akong pera.
Those in need.
Those in need of money. May, okay, those in need in general.
Yes.
Many things.
Those in
Naku,
need.
that's everybody.
Alam niyo,
Mas
biglang,
dumadami yan.
Yes.
di ba, there's uncertainties in it eh. Di ba, ang dami kayong naririnig ba, nawala yung trabaho ko, nawalan ako ng ganito, nawalan lahat ng aking Hindi ba then people just go in depression. They become so lonely, they become so alone. Hindi ba? Then, realities yun eh.
Yes.
Then, meron dyan yung seeker.
Inquisitive.
Curious.
Yung mga nagtatanong
They
talaga,
want to
maraming
learn. Bakit
gusto
kaya ganon? The thinker siya.
malaman. Oo.
Ay, parang, ba't kaya bilog yung buwan? Di ba? Or, tapos, yung
They
ating
consider
planeta
these
ay bilog.
questions.
Pero bakit patag lahat? Sana ko. Bakit pag, may questioning
Bakit
ka na.
merong variant yung COVID?
Paano ba na?
Variant yung
Inquisitive
variant.
people will naturally seek answers.
Yes.
Kumbaga yan.
And they will try to seek answers through books, through
Through their
teachers,
senses.
to their senses,
Using their senses.
to their basic
Mind, intellect.
capacity to think and try to think logically, di ba?
Yes.
But yet, finding the answer becomes still, if you're an inquisitive person, di ba?
You might be going in the wrong track.
Right.
Yeah.
Baka iba yung na-pick up mo o ibigay na paniwalaan mo, biglang, ganun
Kung
pala yan.
nagkamali ka sa experiment.
Ano na yung
And
number
then
4?
finally, kanina yung binanggit natin, yung wise man.
Ayun. The 4th type of person. Seeking. Yung mga
What does he
seeker.
seek naman?
Siyempre.
What makes him different from the one who's just curious?
Pag sinabing wise, kaya nga wise, matalinong tao yan. But not just talino per se on the technical capacity,
Not on the IQ, EQ thing.
yes,
Oo.
but on the analytical settings, in a holistic view of things. Not just,
Medyo higher.
yes,
higher
not just things
level.
that he can measure. He doesn't see the limitation of his capacity to be able to grasp, right? information or certain things that occur in the world that makes you seek that you can say, oh, if you look at the seed of a banyan tree, napakaliit yan. Alam niyo ba yung banyan tree? Ito isa sa pinakamalalaking puno sa
Balete
ating
ba yun?
planeta.
Balete.
O yung puno ng kupang dito sa amin sa gubat, marami. O kaya kung nakikita niyo ibang halaman dito, yung kawayan, nag-umpisa yan sa napakaliit na buto. Biglang naging gigantic na halaman. So parang, how's that possible? Di ba? Then when you start to see these things, you start to realize that, wow, there's a lot more to life.
Oo, yes.
There's
Yun
a
na
lot.
ang one thing about wise men, they don't feel like they know everything.
Yeah, they're
The
humbled by their
wise
experience.
knows that I don't know everything, and so he is more open,
Yes.
to learning also.
But he's also higher than the other kinds of men kasi yung iba, pag nagkaroon na ng pera o natapos na yung sakit nila,
They
parang
forget.
They forget. Tapos na yung search nila.
Yes.
Hindi na sila magdadasal, hindi na sila maghahanap ng ng
until
answers.
the next bagyo.
Until
Until,
the-
the next.
Pero si Wiseman
Destructive
tuloy-tuloy pa rin.
Yeah, si Wiseman sees
Si Wiseman.
everything.
Steady nga siya,
Tuloy-tuloy.
steady. Kung ano man mangyari, relax lang siya, chill.
And he is, kumbaga na, he's guided by wisdom.
Yes.
Kaya nga wise man eh.
Kaya nga, sana we all seek to be like
Kaya
that.
ngayon, itong ating paghahanap, ang sinasabi nga, meron tayong kailangan na desire na humanap ng truth within. Within yan. At saka yung activities natin within. In fact, there are very great literatures that speak na we must go within and find the happiness within. Yun yan ang pinaka-higher happiness talaga. Yung wise man, ganun yung strategy niya, is to find that happiness that is internal rather than yun sa external. No?
Since we're talking about this, when Jesus Christ appeared in this world, he was always referring to the worldliness of the situation, that this is not something you seek.
Yeah.
Seek ye first the kingdom of
King
God,
God.
and all else shall be added
nga.
unto you.
Kaya when you if you see how his life is and the life of those who were his close associates with him, you will find.
Simple lang sila.
Simple lang. And all of ng mga pinapayo niya, kunyari, he went out 40 days, 40 nights fasting.
Oo.
Imagine, ang tagal.
Meditation,
Right.
in prayer, in solitude.
Solitude.
Hindi
Pa-fast
ba?
ka lang ng Good Friday, hirap na yung mga tao.
But yun talagang very meaningful yung kanyang example na yon.
Yes, it's actually for us to.
Emulate.
Yes.
Kayahin natin.
There's more to
Ay,
life.
hindi naman
and
40 days, 40 nights fast ha.
but you-
Pero, ibig sabihin,
Oo.
hindi tayo attached sa
No,
ano.
every day
mga
we can
gamit.
practice that kind of solitude. Alam mo, meron ako mga naging friends that, okay, they live with other people, they live in a very tight space. Halos wala silang sariling kwarto. Pero pag magdadasal sila, anong ginagawa ng friend ko? She gets a parang shawl, no? Tinatalokbong niya, tapos sabi niya, magdadasal muna ako.
Parang yung veil sa
oo,
church,
veil,
ano?
oo.
Oo.
Susutin niya yun, di, ay, huwag mong kakausapin muna kasi
Do not disturb.
doon
Di
na
ba nung
ako
araw,
nagdadasal.
di ba pag kayo,
Oo.
the women, when you enter the church, di ba, you
Oo,
always have to
dati
wear
may
a
veil
veil.
tayo eh.
Actually, that veil
Gustong-gusto ko
has a deeper significance. Actually, sa totoo lang, di ba?
Ngayon
And
yung,
now, parang old-fashioned na yata yung nagbebelo.
ang ano lang, may belo lang yung ikakasal. May bridal veil yun.
Or of course, sa Muslims, they still,
Yes.
Yeah, marami pa rin.
Yes. Oh.
depends on the culture. No?
Actually, it's not so much covering the face
Yes.
or the features, but it's to give you a kind of privacy. And also so people don't get distracted watching your face. But ikaw, para ka rin nasa sarili mong mundo. Hindi ba?
And seeing you with a veil, people already know, okay, let's not disturb her. They respect that
Yes.
solitude that they're trying to achieve.
When my daughter traveled into another country and she had to live with somebody in the same room and she wanted to do her meditation. So what she would do was she would put the blanket over her, tatakip siya ng blanket. Dadating naman yung roommate niya, tapos hihilahin blanket, "What are you doing there?" Sasabihin sa kanya ng ganon.
Kailangan pala may sign siya, do not disturb.
praying. Sabi niya, I'm praying. Oh, okay. Babalik na yun, tatakpan siya uling gano'n.
Siguro naman minsan lang nangyari.
Oo, minsan
Alam na niya.
nalaman na nung ang kaibigan niya na do not disturb. So, sometimes we find ways na paalam naman sa tao na wag muna tayong istorbohin, di ba? Kasi yung privacy natin, yung private moments
Oo, importante.
private moments are very special
Yes.
to find that, and kumbaga doon tayo nakaka relate internally to our supreme friend.
Yeah.
Hindi ba? Meron tayong connection na ginagawa.
Kumbaga doon tayo nag-regenerate din, di ba?
That's where your strength will come from.
Para tayong recharge.
Recharge.
Kasi many times, if we try to, measure in one's life, try all the externals that you have. Analyze it, which would give you the strength. But you will find all of it has its
Nakakapagod eh.
all of it has
Most
its
of it.
all of it has its limits. Di ba? May hangganan.
Oo.
Pero by nature, kasi tayo nga, we're spirit in nature. That means we will endure.
Yes.
We're not limited by, right now, because of having a body, we're limited by time and space. You know, the moment you have time and space on your side, the moment you connect to that time and space, this is where your struggle to exist begins. How do you transcend time and
Yeah.
space?
Yes.
So,
Kaya natural sa atin, ayaw talaga natin mamatay. Kasi
Yeah.
hindi naman tayo talaga mamamatay. We are really
We feel-
spiritual and eternal in
we're
nature.
eternal in nature. But what's lacking is our understanding and seeking that knowledge of your true nature.
Oo.
And then how do you feed the true nature
Oo.
that you have that is by nature eternal, may talino, di ba?
And happy.
And palaging masaya yan. But when we are subjected by time and place, by what is being measured in the world you live in, this is where the struggle to exist begins, because you begin to identify with that which is,
Temporary.
yes, you begin to relate to yourself as this body, and all of my family members I'm connected to all of them. So you begin to put parameters or limits to your own ability to be able to see your true nature. Kaya nga binanggit kanina importante yung solitude.
Yes. Oo.
Di ba? Si Einstein sinabi niya,
Oo.
kailangan meron kang ganyan. Kasi diyan mo makikita kung sino ka talaga.
Oo, yes.
Madidiscover mo yung inner
Yes.
self mo. Madidiscover mo yung sarili mo kung sino ka.
Your real
Or
character.
who you really are. That you're not this physical self that you have, that you think, and for all your life in this world, you think, oh yeah, ito ako nung baby ako. Ito ako nung naging teenager ako. Ito ako nung nag-asawa na ako. Ito na ako ngayon nag-middle age. Ito na ako ngayon nung tumatanda. When nakita mo yung changes na nag-go through, katawan lang ang nagbabago.
Tsaka ang mahirap din doon when you think you are your body. Every relationship you have becomes mabigat, di ba? Parang burden. Oh, I'm just a kid playing, tapos I grow up and I have a family, and lahat yan, ko yun yung responsibility ko. Parang ang bigat, no? But when we go into our inner sanctum, when we know, we're hooked up to our Father, and He's helping us.
Yes.
Yeah,
You
we
know?
have the protection
It's not
we
like
need.
we're the one holding the world up,
You
you
stop
know?
playing the different roles
Yeah.
that you feel yung lahat ng roles mo, may position ka, may responsibilities ka. It stops at a certain point. And
Not that we don't become
Yeah.
responsible, but we don't feel the burden.
Yes.
Kasi when you begin to discover your inner self, you see your true nature. You see your connectivity
Yeah.
to the very source of your very existence.
Yes, yes.
And that, kumbaga this is where I'm getting charged. Power. May kumbaga nandiyan
Parang
galing yung
electric
lakas.
line ka. You're
Yan
just
yung
part
lakas
of the
ko,
line.
nandyan.
Oo.
Diba? This is the very strength that I'm getting.
Kaya nga
So,
yung richness of the self, yung the difference between loneliness and solitude is yung richness pag na-experience mo yung connection mo with the
Connection.
source.
Yun nga.
Hindi ba?
Yeah.
You need to know there's a source. You know how to hook up
Yes.
You know how to get your energy there and let it
Yes.
flow to others. It's not that you're the source of the energy.
Especially not just energy, but we're talking about love.
Spiritual.
Happiness and
Yes.
love.
How to connect with that source of love and to feel His love, His unconditional love, and
And
to
pass it
share
on.
it with
This,
others.
this
Yes.
when one is, this is Jesus Christ. This is, I mean, it's December, right?
Yeah,
So
we're preparing for Christmas.
That's, it's more internal eh. Makikita mo yung
Yeah.
kanya eh. It's all about based on his relationship with the Father. And that was the very key of his existence. And that his dependency on the Father.
Yeah.
He was always constantly sharing it to everybody. And that this is what we all need to do.
Yeah.
You know. And then that inner space that you have, right, is between you and your relationship with your Father, with your true
Yes.
Father. And then how do you strengthen that? Because just as any father will do to a son or to a child, di ba, the father is always the source of inspiration, the source of strength, the source of
knowledge.
protection, the source of knowledge. We have such natural relationship. So ngayon, kumbaga the father will not let the son just fall apart.
Yeah.
The father will give you
He
all the
supports
support you
us.
need. And now, if you begin to recognize this fact that hindi, when you go to the valley of darkness, hindi ka nag-iisa.
And even when you're here, not
Right.
necessarily walking through that valley of
Or you're here in
darkness,
this world,
anytime.
you have a constant companion that is there for you, that is feeding you information.
Yes.
Di ba, minsan sinasabi natin, ay, nakokonsensya yata ako. Saan galing yung mga inner insights sa isang buhay ng isang tao?
Ano yung voice of conscience?
Di ba? May mga ganun na narinig eh. Kasi, but actually, that's simply described as the Father in our hearts,
Yeah.
who is there, who is constantly with us.
Lagi siya yung nagbibigay ng
Kaya-
gabay.
Kaya nga yung Ama, nagbibigay lakas yan eh. All we need to do is to be able to strengthen that connection. Kasi the tendency, when we are living in the mundane situation, we tend to not look internally. Our life,
Busy tayo sa labas.
our life is governed by
nasa
externals.
labas.
Yeah.
That's why the pursuit of pleasure based on the external views of a person, body, senses, facilities to enjoy. Kaya nga ang tao,
All
the
the noise
tendency,
and the hurry around us.
hindi ba pinag-usapan natin last weekend, yung tendency natin na maging controller, di ba? Hindi ganun eh. So, pag nandun tayo sa consciousness na yun, hindi natin matatanaw
Yung tunay.
yung tunay na inner sanctuary talaga natin, na yung ating Ama ay kasama natin.
Nakakalimot tayo.
Nalilimutan natin. Kasi nalululong tayo sa mga bagay na,
I'm the greatest.
right, na I don't need them. I have the intelligence,
Sobrang
I have the
galing.
money, I have the power, I have all of this, I have this, I have all the trappings, I work all my life, I studied this way. Then,
Talagang ano yan, maaano tayo sa ibang space. Hindi na, kumbaga hindi
Malilimutan
natin
natin.
mapapasok yung inner space.
Right.
We cannot
Parang
find,
we puffed ourselves up so much, hindi na tayo kaya dun sa butas.
actually meron ang description that solitude, kasi nga you're saying people are so busy looking at the external things around them, that this is like living in a world na tuloy-tuloy, walang stop, no? May sinabi, solitude or entering the inner space is like punctuation. Okay.
Meron
A paragraph without periods and commas would be like exhausting to read.
Kasi pag nagbabasa ka, pag may comma, makakahinga ka.
not only that, it gives you the space
To
Stop
reflect
and
and to,
think.
to start to, what am I reading here? Or whether am I understanding what I'm reading? May mga ganun kasi yan.
kaya nga importante,
Mas
meron
klaro yung
tayong
binabasa pagka meron punctuation.
Kaya kailangan yung punctuation of solitude, di ba?
Yan.
Importante yan so that we can also reflect on what we are going through.
Oo.
Kasi every day, may dumadating, merong nangyayari. Kailangan mag-ano tayo, ano bang happening yun?
Oo. Bakit nangyari yun?
Oo, hindi
Kasalanan
ba?
ko pa yun?
Oo.
Kasalanan niya.
And to also to pray to, to our Supreme Friend na, please guide me how to deal with this and what I should do and everything. Parang humahanap ka rin ng guidance
Yeah.
at nagpapasalamat ka rin, yung appreciation nandun rin for the blessings that you receive. Kasi yung iba na frustrate sila, hindi naman ako sinasagot ni Lord. Dasal lang ako ng dasal.
Baka yun na yung sagot ni Lord. Medyo pinapaisip ka muna.
Kasi minsan we want a certain thing to happen and that's
Ayun
what we pray for.
Yeah,
This
kasi
is-
Imbis na si Lord yung
when
nag-a-act, ikaw
prayer
lang kasi
is in such a
extra
setting.
ka lang,
That's why the great sages, the wise men would always, di ba, yung experience nila being humbled. Yung humbleness eh.
that's really the
That
point,
is the very
no?
point. That's where real
That's the
inner strength
space
is.
where
That's
it
the
works.
space where it works.
Oo.
Because that puts you in a position where I know nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nothing
you
in this
open
world,
up na.
Nothing in this world is mine. My very existence is totally dependent on you. And in such consciousness, with great awe and reverence, not just great awe and reverence, but kasi minsan yung awe and reverence parang
May takot
may
eh.
takot eh. But
Pero
you,
dapat love eh.
like a child, di ba? Yung being an innocent child, di ba? Eh,
Parang yung humility, siya yung oil na nagpapabukas ng
Exactly.
gates ng heart
Yes.
natin.
Yeah,
Ano?
it is
Like,
humbleness.
wala, di ko na kaya.
Kaya nga,
There are answers that come to us, yung connectivity, like for example, sometimes you're reading a scripture and then you read something, ito yung tanong ko, hindi
Yeah,
ba?
nasasagot, ano?
Dumadating
minsan,
yung sagot.
minsan may ganito eh.
Oh.
Minsan, it doesn't have to be, di ba, when you hear another person speak, may mga insights yung sinasabi ng isang tao. If a person is humble,
Yeah.
it begins to recognize the fact that it's not that person speaking about such wisdom and knowledge. There's from within. That knowledge
Parang
comes from within.
pinasalita siya ni Lord ng ganoon. Tapos biglang,
The message has come to
na-hit
you.
ka ng message. Oo. Open ka kasi.
Oo. And you are sensitive to that.
Oo.
Kumbaga, you're really, yung seeker kasi, hindi siya sarado ang isip.
Right.
Kumbaga, di ba sabi nila parang, wait, I forgot. Go ahead.
The
Sorry,
journey of
senior moment.
the journey of self-discovery has to do with humbling yourself,
Yes.
recognizing the fact that I am not the owner and controller of my life in this world.
Yeah.
And if I have this consciousness that you humble yourself, you begin to say. That's why your prayer begins to begin. Oh, there's people. Yung prayer nila, yung consciousness nila is always in the very start of my day and the end of my day.
Yeah.
And in the middle even.
In the middle, it's all about thankfulness and gratitude for having received the blessings of love.
Yes.
And then, sa kanya, yun na yun. Hindi na yung trappings of what, but may ganito. No, not
Simple
at
na,
all.
simple na lang.
So maybe during this pandemic, one thing that most people experience is that they can actually pray to God or relate, connect to God, even not going to a structure, to a temple, to
Dealing
a
with
church,
the-
but
you-
finding it really in your heart.
Your spirituality begins to be your very life, right? That is what guides you throughout. So you begin to learn to make that connection internally, and everything that you do has an internal situation that you deal with all the time. It's not about just the externals. It's about an internal life,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and your spiritual life.
Parang all your
existence.
actions are connected kasi.
Kasi
Yeah, to
how
the
do you-
real thing. Yeah.
For you, it's so clear. The goal of life is to be able to experience, to serve and love and experience, to offer unconditional love to my Father who's always there, giving me all the unconditional love I need. And, di ba?
Kahit minsan nakakalimot tayo, siya hindi
di ba may
niya tayo
kanta?
nalilimutan.
All you need is love, love. Oh, what kind of love is that? Di ba?
Love is all you need.
Yeah, di ba?
Kantahan na tayo ngayon.
Napapakanta kami sa
But
saya.
those are inspired by the whole reality that there is a need for love and that all we need is really love. And that source of love is, of course, the supreme lover.
Yeah,
Di
it's
ba?
an inner it's an inner experience.
Ah.
You know.
Personal and very personal
Right.
experience
Right.
yan.
This is actually Jesus' gift to us.
Oo.
And this is the kind of gift we should be giving our loved ones as well.
Yes.
When we prepare ourselves for the appearance of Jesus in the next, I think, 8 days
Ilang
to go,
araw na
9 days to
lang,
go.
oo.
Basically, this is what we need to look in,
Focus
on. You know, where am I in relation to what Jesus has taught us? Where am I in this real
scheme of things.
scheme of
no?
the situation of my existence? Am I close? And have I humbled myself to get to recognize the fact that here's a great saintly person, Jesus Christ came. He made a sacrifice of his life. And he didn't do it, he did it out of love for everyone. And the relationship that he had with the Supreme Father was what inspired him to go through life. He didn't complain. He could have done something. He could have left. Pwede siyang umalis eh. He had a choice eh. But no.
Thy will be done siya
Yes.
eh.
I will
Surrender.
follow-
Prayer
I will
eh.
follow
Surrender
what
of
is the
love
will
and
of the
love.
Father. And that I
Mahirap
will do.
sabihin yun pagka hindi ka talaga loving God, di ba?
So
So
this,
when you deal with inner spaces, this is what it means.
Yeah.
There is that inner sanctuary between you and your Father, your true Father. Okay? And this is how we should govern our lives and live our lives in the best we can. It doesn't mean anybody who has an inner sanctuary all the time or inner space, who treasures that. You know, there's a next step to it. Eh. You'll end up, I feel so much love in my heart that it's normal for me. It's a natural thing for me to also be expressing my love for everybody else.
yes.
Kaya sinabi natin, the matchless gift. Okay, what is the matchless gift in our life? Sa buhay natin. Ano yung regalong
Walang katumbas.
walang katumbas? Ano yung regalo na yun? Yun ay regalong unconditional love that we have experienced in our hearts and that we are sharing it with everybody else.
Pass
Yes.
it on, pass it on.
Oo,
Yeah.
yan. Okay, sarap pag-usapan ng inner space dahil it's a very heartfelt, heartwarming topic for all of us. It talks about what we need, our relationship with our real friend, and feeling his love and expressing that love also to other people. Napakasaya ng Christmas pag ganito.
ganyan.
Oo, hindi ba? So,
And that's what drives everybody together. There's that common ground.
yes. Oo, yes.
And you know, when you deal with real love or unconditional love, it's the power that drives people. You know. So let us seek that shelter. Let us be protected by that unconditional love that we are given in the inner sanctuary of our hearts. We are not by ourselves. There's always a companion who is with us, always waiting on our efforts and decision that we should turn towards Him and seek that unconditional love.
Yes.
Maraming salamat po sa inyong
Thank
lahat. So,
So remember, we're never really alone, yeah?
Yes.
Have a blessed Christmas.
okay. Kasi,
Thank you.
ano yan, Saturday di ba?
Yeah, we'll see you
Yung
on
Pasko.
Christmas.
Okay. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, so that was a very enlightening talk by Tito Toby, Tita Marisa, and Tita Socorro. No, napaka-relevant for what is happening today all around us, okay, and in our lives, in our own individual lives. So before we end today, I just want to say hi again to those watching the Mainigo tribe, saying good morning and praying for the best and everyone's safety. To Cesar, all the way from California, saying Haribo and Namaste. Thank you very much. Hello and Haribo to Roven and Ma'am Maylay was sharing that every day brings a choice to practice stress or practice peace. From Ma'am Yogi, great Saturday watching Gopalakas from San Pedro. To Ma'am Mila, who says she loves the topic today. Salamat, Gopalakas. To Ma'am Elvira and Octavia, and also to Matt Resurrection, who also shared that when a man with worldly attachment becomes distressed, he sometimes begins to search for solutions to life's difficulties. And the desire for true knowledge launches him on the path of actual human progress. And in this sense, his real human existence begins. And this is from the book Lotus Pond. And Mamilay ends with thank you for sharing your wisdom. So that is it for today. Again, finding that inner space, that space of solitude, where we can all retreat and recharge with prayer or meditation. This is what will give us faith and the strength to get us through the ups and downs of life. Yun ang itinuro sa atin ni Jesucristo na napaka-importante for us to have a relationship and connection in love with the source of love and everything else, the Supreme Father. And like Tita Marisa said earlier, also, this is His gift to us. This is Jesus Christ's gift to us. And let us meditate on this gift that we have been given, especially during this season of gift giving. And let us not forget to give and share this gift to those that we can. Extend the help that we can and render service to others and, of course, to Him. Wishing you all a blessed Christmas. Maraming salamat po.
Pangkalusugan, pangkalikasan, Gopalakas.